Hi, it's Toby from Heavyweight MMA. Lucky for the second time to have Roxanne Modafferi, the happy warrior, on with us again. It's great to see you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
No worries. Hey, I've got two big things to ask you and to discuss today quickly. The first one, obviously, you've got a big fight coming up, UFC271 versus Australian-Scottish Casey O'Neill. I'm a bit conflicted because I want you to win, but I'm also Australian, so there's a bit of conflict happening there. How are you feeling for that fight, Roxy?
I am very excited. I've been training a lot in preparation for this, and I think it's going to be an awesome fight. You know, you can just root for a good fight if you like. That's what I usually do when my friends fight each other. Just hope it's a good fight, and I know it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, man, it should be great. And looking at the stats and everything, it's a very different set of experience from you and her. She's kind of the up and comer, 24 years old, only 8 fights, 8 wins, versus 39 years and 44, actually 50 fights, I should say. You've got 50 fights. It says 44 on the records is wrong. It's 50 fights coming up.
Thank you.
Amazing experience level there to take her on, man. She likes to walk forward and to grapple as well, but I heard you say that you want to knock her out. So I actually hope to see a good grappling match between you two guys, but if you're going to knock her out, it might be a quick one.
I think it's probably going to be hard to knock her out, to be honest with you. She seems really tough, but I shall try. I have several special attacks that I've been practicing in preparation for this fight, so I'm very excited. I think I'm going to at least land one of them.
Yeah, I heard you mention that you're going to try the things you haven't tried before. So we're expecting some jump spinning hook kicks, Imanari rolls, etc. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Should be fun. Hey, how's your current training regime and everything going? Is it good?
It's good. I'm trying to do something a little different this time. I'm working with my same coaches and then a couple other, one other one, Johnny Parsons. I'm working with him more than I have in the past. He's awesome, super supportive. My fiance, Chris, is going to be in my corner. I'm trying to do some more private sparring, like outside of class. That I haven't done that ever before. Like, I feel like that a lot of high level fighters do that. And there's just so many people on the mat nowadays. I'm like, oh, I'm going to try this and reserve the cage ahead of time. So I'm trying it. And I really like that style.
You mentioned that you've been using headgear and stuff lately for the lead up to the fight. Are you using headgear with sparring as well?
Yeah, it feels great. Like, I'm so happy that headgear's working out. You know, Jojo elbowed me in the head really hard and I didn't get rocked or knocked out. So I'm super happy.
That's a good thing. And it stops you getting like you got the chance of getting cuts on that too, right? So kind of, although it cuts back that little bit of impact, actually it's contentious, right? Some people say that it makes your head a bigger target, makes people hit you harder in sparring, and it increases the diameter of your head. But I actually believe that it definitely, if you're with the right people, it helps you a little bit, you know?
Yeah, and it depends too. Like, if I'm gonna do a hard grappling match or a session with somebody, like, I might not wear it, but if I know they're gonna hit me hard, I'll wear it. So things like that.
True.
But it does suck. Like, I remember the days I didn't used to have to wear it, and those were wonderful. So
that's it. And your psychology, man, this is obviously kind of a different terrain to you. You're coming up to a fight that you're saying is going to be your retirement fight. Does it feel different? Do you feel okay? Do you feel more nervous, less nervous? What's the deal?
I feel a lot of pressure, you know, like, I'm trying not to tell myself this is it. Like, I asked one of my trainers, like, stop saying this is the last one, just like making me nervous. You know, I'm just going to try to go out there and just treat it like any other fight and do my best. Because I'm going to compete in jiu-jitsu, you know, but just not MMA. So I'm not going to be like completely removed from the world of competition, but yeah.
That's it. You mentioned before that you've missed some opportunities to really embrace the moment, like when Bruce Buffer calls your name, etc. Is it in your mind that like you're going to be more free with your style in there and try some interesting things? Are you going to try and embrace it more this time and breathe it all in for the last one rather than being too nervous at that point, or you don't know?
I don't know. I hope so. Like, I feel like now that I'm looking back in hindsight, like, I think I was just putting so much pressure on myself, and like, I have to be perfect mentally. I have to think about this. I have to not think about that. Like, I don't know. I want to be in the right mindset. I want to have the winning formula, of course. I am going to want to enjoy it though.
Yeah. Great.
This week is cool. Like, Lauren Murphy is visiting me. I brought her out. This is the second time she's come out for a week. She's such an amazing training partner. We actually run the season Tough 26 together, and we fought actually. And now she's a friend, and it's so great having her out.
That's awesome. Awesome. Now, we chatted around 5 months ago, and you only hinting at retiring then. You said you were tired of getting hit in the head, etc. It's your final stand, but like you just mentioned, you're going to kick on and do some competition anyway. So you're still going to be competitive, just doing what you love more, which is jiu-jitsu, right? And take out that element of head contact, yeah?
That's right, yeah.
So you're not going anywhere, really. You're just going to see you on some nice grappling tournaments instead.
I think so, yeah.
That's good. Hey, it's been a kind of tumultuous year for you, right? This last year, you've had on the MMA side, you lost a couple of decisions. Your dog, Genghis, passed away. Rest in peace, still Genghis. And your boyfriend proposed, Mr. Chris Roman. Has it been a tumultuous year? Does it feel up and down emotionally for you?
Man, this has been one of the craziest years I've ever had. Just like so up and down, so many major things. Like I also had 2 grappling matches that were awesome, but I lost and that sucked. But yeah, just being with my boyfriend, now fiance, like that was my life goal. Like my 2 last life goals that I had on a piece of paper I wrote when I was in college, honestly, was the last 2 that I hadn't circled were find a boyfriend and fight in UFC. So that's awesome.
That's it. That's great.
I'm just looking forward to, accomplishing those. And
great, man. And you actually talking about goals. I heard you saying that one of your goals is to be in UFC, and look at what you've done. You've been in there how many times now? Is it? You said how many?
I think that's the 12th time.
12th time, yeah. 12 times in the UFC. So you're coming out on 50 fights. 12 times in the UFC. I was just quickly looking while I was waiting for someone to log on. I quickly looked in the pound for pound fighters, man, like Usman 21 fights, Volk 24 fights, Israel 22 fights, Francis 22 fights. Charlie Olives has got 40 fights, so he's up there. But everyone, John Jones 28 fights, Khabib 29 fights, GSP 28 fights, man. You kick all their ass in the stats. You're a full veteran, man. You're better than most of the pound for pound people in terms of experience. It's a great thing. It's a very big achievement. I hope you understand the big achievement that you've made. It's great.
Well, thank you. It doesn't really feel like that sometimes because I've lost a bunch, but yeah, I guess I have done a lot. So that's cool. Thank you for saying that.
And man, I hope it goes on into the future. Obviously, you like to teach, and I'm hoping that your future involves a lot of teaching with, especially like you said, teenage kids that you kind of said you enjoy teaching. That would be great if you can give that experience, but also the fight experience. I hope that you can help some veterans, help some people with your veteran experience later. I hope that can be transferred somehow to people.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you mentioned, you actually didn't mention what your future plans are. You're pretty tight-lipped on it. I'm just thinking like the standard future path for athletes that have been fighting is to have schools and that. So I'm hoping there becomes a Roxy Happy Warrior school somewhere and people get to benefit, like I said.
Well, thank you. We shall see. I still have yet to make my move.
Yeah. And actually, I was actually thinking you'd be a great commentator too, man. Like you're very bubbly and, good personality versus skills. Why don't you have a stab at that, man? It'd be cool, I was just thinking.
Thank you. I'm very curious about how I would do. I'm, kind of nervous about it.
Should try it out. So in all this experience, I just want to ask you a couple of questions. What have been the goods and bads of being a professional MMA fighter over these years? It's been a long journey, 18 years of fighting, right?
Yeah. It's been stressful to want to fight and not be able to choose when I could fight. Like I always felt like I was like, hey, give me a fight. Like I was always like begging people to give me fights and hoping the promoters would do that. Especially when I lived in Japan, there weren't a lot of people my size in Japan. So I would have to be flown back to America or somewhere. So it was always so frustrating, like being ready to fight and not being able to get a fight. So it's actually been really cool. Like the last 3 years in the UFC, actually ever since COVID hit, to be honest with you, I haven't been short of fights. I feel like even in the UFC, it was like twice a year. But then when COVID hit, it was like 3 times a year. I was like, cool. So that's been cool. But over the course of my history, yeah, that's been stressful. Also my body, like just getting beaten up and like injuries and stuff. That's been the bad. But the good has been being able to meet so many people and connect with different people. I got to speak Japanese to the people in the gym, I really wanted to become fluent in Japanese. So that's why I moved to Japan, but then I taught English. So I wasn't really speaking Japanese, but I got to go to Japan and その道場で日本語を話しましたから I was able to like get better, and learn like, MMA lingo for Japanese. That was like, helped fulfill a life goal. And I also got some translating gigs through MMA, which is another life goal of mine, to be a translator. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. Actually, just reminded me, I'm talking about the language. I was going to say Happy Chinese New Year. Today I'm in China. Today's the Chinese New Year, the start of Chinese New Year. So happy New Year too. Sunny and Failok. And I've got the Happy Warrior shirt on here too. I didn't show.
Excellent.
So representing Roxanne Modafferi, Happy Warrior on Chinese New Year.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay. So the other question I had was just your greatest performance and memory in your fights thus far.
I should probably say one more thing, because I gave like 2 negatives and 1 positive just over the years of the injuries, but also one of the happy feelings was the ecstatic feeling of having triumphed, even though I don't feel like I'm an athlete and I don't feel like I'm physically strong, just proving that through hard work, I could just grind it out and get those wins,
Yeah, I've been talking, like I've only been doing this channel for about a year, and I've been talking to so many fighters, elite fighters and elite coaches. And the thing that the common thing that comes up that I don't think everyone knows about is the way to be successful in general things in life and in fighting isn't being the most talented guy in the room. It's being the guy that can, or woman or man that can persevere through and keep training and be persistent and driven, right? It's not about you're the best athlete and you're an example of that. Like you're saying, you don't feel like you're the best athlete, but you're driven through it. You're the one that kept training day after day after day after year after year. And that's where you got where you are. And you not strong. Now you are strong. You can see the way you move, the way you fight, you are strong now. Maybe you weren't before, but now you are. So, it's all through hard work. And that's a great example to send to people, right?
Yeah. And just also being able to look back and saying like, wow, that experience made me so much stronger. Like the Ultimate Fighter experiences, like all of them. And then my title fight against Nico, that was probably one of my best fights. Just because it was like a surprise title fight. But I went really hard and we got fight of the night. So I'm really proud of that.
Awesome. And you, this is probably a stupid question because I know you're going to answer it. Well, how you're going to answer it, but you've done karate, taekwondo, judo, BJJ, lots of different striking arts. What's the best one? In terms of Roxanne Modafferi, the best one. You only choose one.
I freaking love Taekwondo.
Yeah.
I loved it. Like I could do side kicks, I could do spinning kicks. Haven't done them in ages. I've been doing more Muay Thai now because like the elbows are more useful, but Taekwondo was fun. So
there we go. Cool. Okay, Roxy. Well, we've come to an end of this era coming up. One more fight to go. Just wanted to mention, like you said, you'd like to be remembered as a martial artist. Obviously, you are. You are going to be remembered as a martial artist, and you're not finishing your journey. But in the MMA world, you're going to be remembered as a martial artist, someone that didn't really fit the mold. You've defined yourself as your own individual character, which is a great thing, and shown that you can triumph through dedication and hard work. And you are obviously the Happy Warrior, and we've all been very blessed to have seen you through your career and everything. Happy to see you again, and hoping that you have the best of luck and pull a win on this next fight in UFC271 against Casey O'Neill.
Thank you so much. Be ready for some fireworks.
Great. I am ready. I'll be watching and rooting for you against the Australian she's only half Australian anyway. She was born in Scotland, so it's all right. I can root for you. It's all right. Okay. Thanks, Roxy.
I appreciate you.